The last asylum seekers being housed on the controversial Bibby Stockholm barge at Portland in Dorset have been moved out. 3 vehicles were seen taking the remaining handful of men away this morning. More than 300 had already been moved over recent weeks to other accommodation across the country. The new government announced in July it wouldn't be renewing its contract with the barge owners.
We're pleased that this monstrosity, this quasi-prison is going. You know, it's not going to house any more very vulnerable human beings. I mean, it should never have happened. It should never have come to this and kind of highlighted and exposed these people to community division and attack, you know, verbal attack and all of that. It should never have happened.
Well, let's get more on this with our political editor, Peter Henley, who joins me in the studio. Peter, is this the final chapter in this controversial saga?
Oh, well, the end will come when the barge is towed away, which we're told is going to be in January, and then the contract with Portland Port will end. But the whole point of this was to reduce the bill for asylum seekers in hotels. And by then, I think the government will hope it's doing more. They are moving ahead. They told Parliament this week they're getting 10 times the number processed through the system as the old government, but more are still arriving. And when I spoke to the former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, whose idea the barge was, she thinks it's the wrong thing to close it.
The closure of that barge will just mean more hotels being used to house migrants in towns and cities around the country. That's not what the British people want.
It actually didn't create a situation that was fair on the communities or fair on the people that were inside the Bibby Stockholm. You know, we were worried at the time if it was safe. We've had incidents. You know, it's just the wrong answer to the problem.
As you saw there, David, a lot of local politicians, though, very pleased to see the barge going, with all of its problems. It was always going to be a drop in the ocean compared to the thousands that were in hotels. It couldn't actually take that many people, and it was expensive. But it maybe sent a message to those wanting to come to this country illegally. It certainly got an awful lot of attention. The government now hopes that they will stem the number of people coming with international cooperation.
OK, Peter, thanks very much indeed.